I need to understand what jurisdiction we're under.
Please.
Objection. Are we in a common law court? Yes or no? Case dismissed because you refuse to rebuttal to the question regarding jurisdiction. You cannot proceed without honoring the jurisdiction.
April 26, 2023 will be set for an in-person bench trial in courtroom number 1.
Objection. I will not be showing up. Objection. I will not be showing up. You refuse.
All right, guys, strap in because today we've got one of the wildest courtroom showdowns I've ever seen. And honestly, I don't know how the judge didn't just lose it right then and there.
Are we on the record?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are we under penalty and perjury?
Are we on what, ma'am?
Under penalty and perjury, if you're willing to swear in.
I'm sorry, ma'am, I can barely hear you.
I said, is everybody willing to swear in under penalty and perjury?
Ma'am, we're not taking testimony as of yet. Today is the day and time scheduled for the pre-hearing and adjourned arraignment pretrial in these matters.
It still has to be placed on a record. He still has to be put under penalty and perjury because he's swearing to an alleged crime against me and holding me accountable. So even though this is just a hearing, it still has to be put on notice for the public as well.
Ma'am, today is the day and time scheduled for the pre-hearing and the arraignment pretrial. Would you state your name for the record, please?
Benita Seeley.
Ms. Seeley, Mr. Battar is the court-appointed attorney assigned to this courtroom for the day. He's indicated that you don't wish to engage his services. Is that correct?
No, let me explain my position. I asked him a simple question about jurisdiction. That's why this hearing has been re-adjourned for today, because the last hearing, none of the attorneys could answer the question in regards to what jurisdiction that we're operating under. So they want to proceed without addressing the jurisdiction, which is a violation of due process. So in order for him to be represent me on any public record, I have to understand what jurisdictions he's operating on.
We're dealing with a classic sovereign citizen, the kind of person who genuinely thinks they're above the law because of some imaginary loophole in common law.
Ms. Seeley, if you do not wish to use the court-appointed attorney, and you confirm as much to the court right now, Mr. Battar can go back, ma'am. Mr. Battar can go back and do other things that he needs to do this morning. Do you wish to use Mr. Battar's services, or do you wish to represent yourself this morning, or do you wish to retain counsel through some other mechanism?
Under what charge, under which jurisdiction, and then who's bringing the charges against me?
Ma'am, there were citations issued against you in Huron Township for limited access speeding 11 to 15 miles per hour over the posted speed limit. That's a civil infraction. There's count 2, no proof of insurance. And there is the misdemeanor of driving while license not valid or improper license. Do you wish to use the services of the MIDC attorney, or do you wish to represent yourself this morning, or do you wish to retain counsel?
Who are the parties bringing this claim against me? It's a simple question.
I answered your question, ma'am. I answered your question, ma'am. I answered your question, ma'am.
And could you re-answer it? Because I didn't hear it. Who's bringing the charges against me?
The citation that was issued to you was issued by an officer from Huron Township, Freddie Yono. It's the citation that was issued, is signed.
So it's Freddie.
It has his name and his ID number. Ma'am, my question to you is, do you wish to engage the services of the court-appointed attorney, or may I release him to go back to do some other work?
Wait a minute, I have questions before I can answer on. You're trying to get me to
no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yes, it's a,
no, ma'am.
It's a due process violation. Objection. Yes.
Miss Seeley, Miss Seeley, this is the third and last time I'm asking you. Will you be using Mr. Battar to represent you this morning, or do you wish to retain your private attorney, or do you wish to represent yourself?
I need to understand what jurisdiction we're under.
Mr. Battar, you may return to your breakout rooms to meet with other potential clients. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Ms. Seeley, do you intend to represent? I'm sorry, Ms. Foley Carter.
I just want to, we started this case back in July. Ms. Seeley attended her first pretrial.
She demanded that the case be dismissed. I declined. I asked that the case be set for a bench trial. Ms. Seeley objected, and Magistrate Hinman advised her to file a motion stating her objection. Since then, she asked Judge Green for her oath of office and then didn't appear for the court dates before Judge Oakley. So this case has been going on for quite some time with no resolution.
Because I'm asking a question and it requires a rebuttal and it's being ignored. You cannot violate the due process. This is a hearing and any questions that I have needs to be answered.
That doesn't even exist. And yes, the patience the judge showed here deserves a medal. It's almost impressive. Almost. So let's set the scene. The date is April 26, 2023.
You don't get to sit in the capacity of government and ignore the questions that the people have. Someone's bringing a claim against me, and my only question is, are we dealing in a commercial or a common law, also known as a record of law, court? That's simple. So are we in a common law court, yes or no?
Marianne, a in-person bench trial date in this matter, please.
Objection. Objection. Are we in a common law court, yes or no?
January 23rd.
Case dismissed.
At 11 o'clock.
Case dismissed. Case dismissed because you refuse to rebuttal to the question regarding jurisdiction. You cannot proceed without honoring the jurisdiction. You cannot be in the capacity of a...
The misdemeanor matter and the two civil infractions that are traveling with it that were issued on April 26, 2023 will be set for an in-person bench trial in courtroom number 1.
Objection. I will not be showing up. Objection. I will not be showing up. You refuse to answer the question of jurisdiction. You're trying to get me into the courtroom so you can take me against my will and lock me up in a cage like an animal. Objection. You do not have jurisdiction over me. You do not have judicial authority in North America. You are working for a municipality called the state of Michigan. You have no jurisdiction. You are an attorney. You work for a corporation. You are in a municipal capacity. You have no authority. You call yourself government. Your position is a public servant.
Miss
I am the objection.
Miss Seeley,
no, you cannot proceed as an attorney. Objection. I will not be showing up in court. I will appeal this matter. Objection.
There's no question pending to you, ma'am. This court will be muting you at this time because the court has muted Ms. Seeley as her responses are not responsive to the matter that is before the court. This matter is being scheduled for trial. If Ms. Seeley wishes to absent herself from that trial, that is her absolute right. That trial date is January 23rd
I will not be showing up.
That concludes.
And we're in a pre-hearing, arraignment, pre-trial, whatever you want to call it. But here's the kicker. Our defendant, Miss Seeley, refuses to answer the most basic questions about jurisdiction. Are we in a common law court or not? You'd think that would be the simplest yes or no question in the world. Nope. She refuses. Objection after objection flies across the screen like confetti at a parade, and somehow the judge keeps their composure. Meanwhile, Miss Seeley keeps demanding to know the jurisdiction before she'll even consider using the court-appointed attorney. She wants answers to her questions while completely ignoring the ones asked of her. Classic sovereign citizen move. Pay attention to her strategy, and I use that word loosely because it's straight-up repetition. Refuse to answer. Shout, objection, claim no court has jurisdiction, rinse and repeat. And the charges? Not exactly rocket science. A speeding citation, no proof of insurance, and driving with an invalid license. Simple civil infractions and a misdemeanor. But she's treating it like it's the trial of the century, claiming the court has no authority over her. She even goes so far as to argue that the court is a corporation, that the judge has no judicial authority, that the state itself has no jurisdiction over her. And the judge? Calm as a cucumber, trying to get her to answer the most straightforward question. Do you want an attorney or not? That's it, simple, one word. But apparently that's the hardest math problem she's ever encountered. Meanwhile, the court-appointed attorney, Mr. Batar, is basically standing there twiddling his thumbs because she refuses to engage his services until her jurisdiction question is answered. And when the judge asks again, she just doubles down on nonsense. She even threatens not to show up at the in-person bench trial later. The courtroom turns into a bizarre mix of law, philosophy, and what I can only describe as pure chaos. And let's be real, saying objection over and over doesn't magically make you correct or safe, but it does make for some incredible viewing. Now things start to get even wilder. Miss Seeley keeps doubling down, throwing objections left and right, insisting the court has no jurisdiction over her and that any attempt to bring her in is a violation of her rights. She's basically treating the courtroom like it's a debate club rather than a place where real laws and consequences exist. And the judge? Still calm, still professional, still asking the same simple questions. Do you want to use the court-appointed attorney, or do you want to represent yourself? One simple choice. But to her, it's apparently an existential crisis. She keeps claiming the court is just a municipal corporation, that the judge has no authority, that the state of Michigan doesn't have jurisdiction. And somehow, this is all meant to make her look smart. It doesn't. It makes her look either clueless, entitled, or both. She even threatens not to show up for the in-person bench trial, acting like refusing attendance will somehow nullify the law. Spoiler alert, it won't. Meanwhile, the judge finally hits the limit of patience that even the most saintly person has and starts muting her on Zoom, because her responses are literally non-responsive to anything actionable. She's talking, but nothing she's saying has any legal effect. It's a masterclass in how not to engage with a court. Let's pause for a second and just appreciate the absurdity here. This woman is so wrapped up in her sovereign citizen ideology that she's ignoring the most basic aspects of due process. The citations are simple: speeding, no insurance, invalid license. Yet she's turned it into a philosophical battle over jurisdiction that doesn't even exist. The judge is literally asking yes or no questions, and she's dancing around like she's performing in a courtroom circus. And just when you think it couldn't get any more ridiculous, she continues insisting that she won't appear at trial, effectively daring the court to act. In the end, the judge has no choice but to schedule the trial in person and mute her on Zoom, letting the legal process continue without her cooperation. The takeaway? Being obstinate and throwing objections like confetti doesn't make you untouchable. The courts have jurisdiction. The law applies. And, honestly, the patience shown here by the judge is next level. I don't know if I could have stayed that calm watching someone blatantly ignore reality for so long. And let's be honest, this also highlights the chaos of Zoom courts. When defendants hide behind a screen and spew these objections, the control in the courtroom just evaporates. So, what's next for Miss Seeley? She's about to find out, the hard way, that the law doesn't bend to beliefs, no matter how passionately you claim to be above it. Her next in-person trial is where the reality check hits. And honestly, considering her behavior today, a contempt charge wouldn't have been surprising at all. The combination of her rudeness, denial, and sheer refusal to engage makes this one of the most frustrating and oddly entertaining hearings I've ever witnessed.